What's up everybody, Jesse back here, and today we're going to be looking at our second video when it comes down to cigars introduction and their accessories. Today we're going to be looking at cigar cutters, and I just happen to have a few here to show you guys. So that's one of the important things you'll be needing when you start smoking cigars and when you start collecting them. So I think that every cigar aficionado, or if you're starting into it, you should have a cigar cutter. And you should don't look for the cheap ones. Look for something like this. This is really good. It's a guillotine cutter, 2 blades, you can see. This is the perfect cutter from from Cuban Crafters. As you can see, it's small, fits in the hand really good. And the good thing about this one, this is the best beginner cutter, I think, for everybody. Because if I zoom in here, you can see it has a backing there. So with that backing, your cigar isn't really going to go you're not going to get a crazy deep cut. As you can, let me move my finger out the way. You can see it's not going all the way through. What that does is that when you cut it, when you do that, you're not going to cut off a lot of the cap. See right there? You don't ever really, let's see if I can actually get this off right here. The cigar has a cap on it, and if you cut too much off of that, what you end up doing is you end up cutting the shoulder of the cigar, and it could unravel while you smoke it, which is a very bad thing to do. The good thing is that this guillotine cutter from Cuban Crafters, the perfect cutter, has a hole in the middle, which is good. So even for if you have torpedoes, and here I have the Petite number 2 from Monte Cristo, Cubans, you can put it in there, right? You could put it in there, right? Perfect hole. And when you cut it, it'll just take off a little bit of the cap. And then you do a quick draw test to see if you have a lot of air coming through. If it's a little snug for you, then you can just keep cutting down little by little with this cutter. So I definitely recommend. You can find this on Amazon. It's not too expensive, and it's great for beginners, or if you don't want to have to go looking to see where you're going to cut your cigar from. Put that off to the side here, and here we have another guillotine cutter from Jetline this time. Sharp blades, very good, great construction. As you can see, this is more traditional style, as you have the opening all the way through. Now what this does is it allows you to cut exactly how much you want off of it. So you see, it goes all the way through, so you can look where you want it on the top here. It's kind of hard to get it on the camera, but you can just look where you want it and then snip it. The problem with that is that if you're not used to cutting cigars, you can cut off a lot of the cap, right? So we have it here. If I want to, I could just literally go and cut off half the cigar, which is what you don't want to do when you're smoking a cigar. So this is again on the cheaper side. Things is not too expensive, but yeah, you want to be careful when you have something like this. If you're not experienced, it's gonna be a little tougher. The good thing about this cutter too is that, it has a larger hole for larger ring gauge cigars. Which, if you're like me, you like smoking Toros or the regular 660s. It's really good because you have this is a 6. I think this goes up to maybe 60 ring gauge, which allows it to cut perfectly. So it's really good for me. I like smoking bigger cigars. Another type of cigar cutter that I spoke about was the punch cut. Now my lighter comes with a punch cut on it right here. You just flip that up, and you see, boom, right there. Has a little hole. Now what that allows you to do is you take your cigar, and you just ever so gently go in there like that. And you don't want to be too hard on it, because then you can crack the cap. You crack that cap, then it's going to ruin the cigar. Just pull it out. You have a hole there, and that hole will be enough to smoke. So what you want to do is you want to take a cold draw, which is after you've cut your cigar, you take a quick puff, and you can see how much airflow is going through your cigar. If it's good enough for you, then that's it. Next up, we have V-Cut, which is one of my favorite cuts of all time, by Colibri. This is the Colibri's Deep V-Cut in the black and rose gold. Now the great thing about this cut is I actually happen to like the mouthfeel from the cigar and the smoke, how much you get, it's very, very good. And Colibri has one of the best cutters ever, and lighters as well. So the good thing about this is rather heavy, so you can feel it in your hand, which is very good. And it has this button down here that you would press, and it's not like it's gonna snag on anything, right? Like I really had to press down on it, but as you can see, it's not going anywhere. Even if I chop it down, nothing, right? And I have to press against it really hard. You can see here, right? Like it's not, I have to go against it really hard, and then that's when it opens up. So you don't have to worry about this ever like opening in your pocket, which is good. I carry this around all the time. Never once had to open it in my pocket with my keys, with my phone, my wallet, anything, which is good. Like I said, just go regularly. Nothing. I actually have to press against it really hard, and even then, sometimes really good. So, good thing about this cutter is you just put in your cigar, right? Put it in there, and it's good because this also has a natural stopper built into it. So you're not gonna go all the way through with your cigar. Just go in there, line it up nice. Then you want to cut your cigar. When you cut down on it, it'll hold on to the tobacco in there, and you just release it off a little bit. I already cut my cigar because I'm about to smoke one. And this is the cut that it leaves. Nice V cut there, nice wide open, clean as can be. And then again, you want to do the same thing. You want to take a pre-draw. Make sure you have enough airflow and your cigar is not too tight or is not snug, because then that'll really ruin your cigar experience. And I just recently got this cutter from one of my friends. Got this for me as a Christmas gift, which I absolutely love. Now, this is the only one that I carry. Again, it's from Colibri. Here we have in the black and rose gold, in metal, and you got the metal knurling right there. Again, with a very tough button, you gotta pull it down. And what this is the Colibri S V cut. Now, as you can see, regular V cut, like the one I just showed you, right? Still has the back in there, so your cigars aren't gonna go through. But the good thing about this one is, if you flip it over to the back, you have your straight cut on it. So let's say you're out with a bunch of your friends and you're doing a little herf, you're smoking cigars with everybody, somebody forgets their cutter. They're not a fan of V cuts or punch cuts. You pull this bad baby out, you cut yours, turn it around, then you got the SV cut right there, the straight cut. You just bring it down, boom, there you go. Razor sharp cutting. This is a little heavier than the regular SV cut, than the regular V cut, I should say. It is wider, as you can see, but this is still slimmer than both the Colibri deep V cut and the Colibri straight cut. They have the same one, but with a straight cut on it. So they just merged those two together, and you get this beautiful SV cut. This is my favorite cutter. I bring this along with me now all the time. No need for me to use this one anymore because I got this one. And not a lot of people, they really don't swear by the punch cut or the V cut. They like their straight cut, so you could do that. Good thing about this one is, because of the built-in, every V cutter is going to have a built-in stopper there. Good thing about that is that you're not going to cut too much of the cap if you want your straight cut, which is always good to have. So there you guys go. Those are a few of the cigar cutters that I have, ones that I will stand by, that I say you should definitely go and grab. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask me. I'm starting on this journey with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I'm bringing you. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Later.